Alright, gamers, welcome back. Valheim episode 23. We are back, baby. It is nighttime in game, so you know what that means? I think we're going to jump in the old hay. Go ahead and skip to the next day. Bars a little bit. Oh, that's right. We need to light up the fires again. Let's take out a good bit of wood and just, max them out here. I think now that we have a stone cutter, I think I can make a hearth, which let me check real quick. What do we need for a hearth? So yeah, just a stone cutter and 15 stone. I think I might try and pop, wow, that's crazy, a hearth in here. Maybe after I'll feel really bad if I just wasted all that wood. Oh man, but I want to. Alright, screw it, let's do it, come on. I shouldn't have wasted all that wood just then. It's a bit of a dumb move from me, but you know what, oh well. We make mistakes, it is what it is. It's just a little bit of wood, it's not that big a deal, honestly. Now, maybe I could do 2 hearths. It looks like I might be able to fit 2 hearths in here, which we definitely could. Now we'll put the wood in. Okay, listen, dude. Really? In my own home? We're still full. Nice. Now, one thing that we're going to need to do is expand on our fireplace here. I think I need to push this back a little more so that way I can have my cauldron and possibly a mead kettle, or maybe make maybe a pocket window here. Might not be a bad idea. How much wood do I have left over? 28 pieces. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Well, I can't get out there. But we'll see. Let me try something real quick. What if we did, one on both sides and had it matching? Now, of course, that means we're going to need something along the bottom to kind of outline it. And then eight pieces of wood left. We're not gonna have enough to make a like an actual rooftop for it, but hey, shaman trophy, that's nice. That should be enough. I didn't really think about this properly, but that's okay. We'll run around the back. What if we did something like this? This way the smoke can escape from these fires. And then maybe something like a 26-degree thatch roof. Actually, it's gonna have to just be one of these bad boys. I just gotta get the proper angle on it here. Something like so. With a 26-inch thatch. Or 26 degrees, sorry, not inch. Alright, let's just go up. Oh no, my stamina. That should be good as far as letting the smoke out. Let's run back inside real quick and check. Yeah, it's not bad. It's actually pretty cozy too. We'll put our mead station here on the left. I might even make another one over here, although there's no reason to have two. Maybe we just put like a base, couple cooking stations on this bad boy, in case I want to cook up some meats really quickly. Just need some wood. Try and fit like 3 on this thing. No way, bro. Okay, sometimes that's just a visual bug. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Now we should have the fire reaching every bit of the house, like even over here. Yes, which means I can finally move our bed along this back wall here, and eventually we're gonna get like, you know, a much nicer bed visually, which is gonna increase our comfort level. And with a higher comfort level, you get a longer rested buff duration. And as we said before, I'm pretty sure the rested buff, I think it increases like the rate at which you get skill ups. I think it increases your stamina regeneration rate. I mean, honestly, let me do a Google search real quick. What does the rested buff do in Valheim? It dramatically boosts your character's performance, increasing health regeneration by 50%, stamina regeneration by 100%, ether magic regeneration by 100%, while also providing 50% faster skill experience. It lasts up to 27 minutes maximum. So right now we're about in the midway section with it. Now what are we looking like on iron? 58. We're gonna head back into the swamps for one more episode of mining out some of these crypts, and then between this episode and the next episode, whatever we don't get mined here, I'm gonna try and mine a lot of it on my own, I think, because it's just gonna be boring, like watching me go into a crypt, clear it out, bring it back to a boat, sail it back, sail the boat back over here, you know, rinse and repeat. I want to go ahead and get most of this iron mined, and then we'll resume recording. That way, you know, we can upgrade our iron weapons, maybe make a set of iron. One of the big things that I do want to record is looking for the next merchant. We found 2. We found the Bog Witch and we found Hilder, which Hilder is more of like a cosmetic merchant. Bog Witch is more of a... she sells like different spices and things like that, but... Which is, you know, there's some cool things that we can get from the Bog Witch, but we're really looking for... I think his name is... I don't want to say Hodor, because that's from Game of Thrones, but I can't remember his name. But he sells more valuable things than Hilder, in my opinion. Hilder's more like cosmetic stuff. But I think maybe episode 24, I'll spend some time like sailing around some of these northern regions, because I have a feeling he might be up here. He's usually within the first, like, outskirts of your starting island. You start in the very middle of the map, right? And he's usually like 1,500 meters around the starting island. And once you get close, like we saw with Hilder, like I think we got like here or something, and Hilder just appeared. Once you get close, it'll show where he is. So my money is he's like here, or maybe up here more, or over here. But I have a feeling he might be over here, honestly, is where my gut's telling me, or maybe even down here. But yeah, we might spend some time next episode sailing around and searching for him. This episode, I'll mine a bunch of this stuff just to, you know, spend some time with you guys. You can see the grind, right? But I don't want to spend 10 episodes mining iron. That's going to be really boring. So like I said, between this episode and next episode, I'll probably mine a lot of these crypts myself, sail a lot of this iron back to the base, and that way, you know, we don't have to be bored with that. Well, that was anticlimactic. Okay, so the center is done already. Yeah, one thing that I'm noticing a lot though, with playing on my own versus how I usually play, which is like with a large group of friends, is not having to need so many things. Like, I'm very used to needing a lot of potion meats, a lot of iron, a lot of copper, a lot of bronze, right? I'm very used to that. So I'm kind of like still in that mindset this run, where I'm like gathering a bunch of copper, gathering a bunch of tin, making sure we have like an abundance of resources, because I'm used to playing with like 8 people where everyone's going to need bronze tools, everyone's going to need a full set of iron with weapons and armor, and you know, and having to really do that, plus like boats and all that stuff. When you're playing alone, you really don't need that much stuff, right? Like, we've got a ton of materials, enough to make a ton of potions, a ton of poison resist meads. Like, I'm kind of good for a bit. Oh yeah, this is a big one here. We're gonna go ahead and use that chest up front as like a temporary storage chest to just hold all of the scrap iron. That way I can spend time mining right now and not really waste the food. Hello. You can take a swing. Or just die. Okay. I will hold the poison arrows for sure. I want to hold these cave mushrooms, and yeah, you know what? We should. Some of the other caves, we kind of skipped out on those because I just didn't have the inventory space, man. But I still need them for certain recipes. So honestly, let's put this stuff in here for now. I got a feeling that this specific crypt is gonna have easily over like 100 iron ore. Like, it's gonna have so much, man. Hello, blobs. Yeah, there's gonna be an insane amount of iron in here. Our boat's definitely gonna be full, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill up that chest next to the boat. But we'll just spend, you know, 30 minutes or so, maybe 45 minutes this episode, just, you know, clearing out the script, getting everything out of it, shooting the shit with you guys. And then I'll probably call it there for tonight, because I got some other stuff that I want to record. It's my Sunday night. I do have to work tomorrow, so trying to get some recordings done tonight. I don't have the gym or anything going on tonight. I just get to relax, work on some recordings. It's like 9 o'clock right now, so I got a few hours to play some games. Pickaxe at 35, that's nice. It's good to know that the rested buff does increase how fast I'm getting my skill increases. Because that way, if we, you know, die and lose some of our skill increases, you know, maybe we just chill at the house for a second, get our rested buff, and then go back out. Kind of make up for some of that lost experience. Where are we sitting at now? 17 here. Let's run back. I think this is close to the door. Let's see. Yeah, literally right to the left. So that's a really good chest to have as a temporary storage. We don't have to go very far. There's just so much. I'm glad we brought our backup pickaxe. I can spend a lot of time in here and I don't have to run out, go repair my stuff. When this pickaxe breaks, we can just kind of switch to our other one. It's definitely gonna break. Just making sure there's nothing up there. Yeah, we definitely want to get this pickaxe upgraded as fast as possible. That way we don't have to worry about the durability on it as much. I think that's going to be the first thing that we spend a lot of our extra iron on. Once we get, you know, a complete weapon and armor set of iron and everything that we need, and it's broken, I'll spend some of the extra iron on increasing the structural stability of our base of the tavern. I do want to like inlay the entire roof with a couple iron beams, just to like match the aesthetic purposes. And then I also need to take some of that wood and like finish the lattice pattern across the roof, because from a distance I can kind of tell like some areas don't have it, or it broke while I was building it because we didn't have those iron beams set up to increase the structural stability. What if we drop the bones? That makes it, yeah. What weighs the most here? Honestly, the treasure doesn't weigh that much. The mushrooms don't weigh that much, right? Yeah. It really is just the iron, and I guess the withered bones weigh a little bit. I don't really need them, as we talked about last time. We have like 40 some odd wither bones. It's enough to summon bone mass multiple times, and we're really only going to take them on twice. And speaking of twice, we do need to go back and, you know, fight that other elder way up here. Just to, one, get it off the map, but two, I need to kill a second elder for his trophy. Something to decorate the village with. Yellow mushrooms, that's nice. I mean, definitely helps some of the patterns that we have. So what is that, 76 iron right there alone? With, you know, still a whole other side and more to go here. This is all continuing. And this pickaxe, honestly, it feels a little better than our iron one because it is upgraded 3 times. The durability on it is very good. The damage to nodes that it does is very good. I'm gonna try and use my dagger more than my sword here. And with that being the case, let's switch the positions for them so it's easier. Just because I do want to get my dagger skill up more. It's at 36, swords are at 39. I'm trying to keep them like relatively close to each other. There are some stretches of the game where we're not going to have access to a dagger, so having a backup weapon like a sword with some points in that is going to be really valuable. And then there are some times where, you know, we're going to have that dagger, and I'm going to want to use the dagger or daggers as our main weapon, so... Alright, I think this side is done. Well, I lied. Forgot we had this wall here. And this is actually going to stop right here, okay. So that's 94 with this entire side to go. With 3 more nodes this way, god. This one looks like it opens up into another room. I just want to make sure before we leave a biome that we have, you know, more than enough of whatever material that we need, as far as if it's like copper, tin, bronze, right? Like we'll always have some in case, because some of the future like biome recipes call for some older material, like some copper or like some bronze or iron, or, you know. So they'll kind of have you going back to some of the older biomes trying to collect that stuff. And I like to stay prepared and ahead of the game and just have that stuff on hand at our base. That way if we need it, you know, it's there. Alright, I think we have a little bit more with this pickaxe before it breaks, but not too much, honestly. A little bit of a dead end here too. Ah, shit, my poison resistance ran out. This might be bad. Three more nodes right there. I'm gonna drink this just in case. I didn't want to die to poison, and I think we were going to. I don't think our pickaxe is actually going to last throughout this whole thing. I think we're going to have to go back, but we're already more than full as far as like how much the boat can hold. We've got a full stack. This is all going in the chest for when we come back, we can load the boat up again. But I'm going to do that all off recording. I just want to get the rest of this crypt completed. I really don't want to pop another poison resist mead. Of course it would jump, man. And then of course the jogger gets in the way. Come on, bro. Move out of the way. There we go. Man, this side really goes. 3 here. You come in here. 2 more. This pickaxe is gonna break. So yeah, with the sea serpent deaths, I think we're up to like 10 deaths now, which isn't terrible for Valheim. That's, you know, you can definitely die a lot more, but I did want to die no times, preferably, but that wasn't the case. Yeah, I think we're at like death 10, which is, I kind of wished it was less, but you know, sometimes a troll just one-shots you, sometimes the poison gets you because you weren't calculating the damage correctly. Sometimes, you know, a sea serpent gets you in the middle of the ocean when it's late at night. That's kind of like the joy of the game. Death is what keeps the stakes high and what keeps it like engaging and interesting. If it wasn't for the thrill of death, and that's kind of why I love like when we did hardcore WoW. That's kind of why I loved hardcore WoW, is because like it was, every upgrade meant something. And it was always engaging and like nail biting in a way where you really didn't want to die because you'd put so much time and effort into it. You know what I mean? Like the fear of death, consequences are what really matter in games, is what I've realized as I get older. Having those consequences is very important. Making a choice, and that choice having consequences, right? Like, if there's a quest and you can only get one of 3 things, and all 3 things are valuable, but you can only get one, and then there's no other way to get the others, there's a consequence for your choice there, right? And that's important, and that adds depth, and that adds meaning to those choices. And I think that's very important. Nowadays, a lot of games will just like cater to you and hold your hand and be like, oh, well, you can get this if you choose one of these 3, but then later on you can get all 3. You know what I mean? It's like, well, that just devalues the whole thing, and it takes away from a lot of the value there, in my opinion. And that might be something that's just like me being Unk status and feeling that way. I'm not sure, but you know, there might be some Zoomer kids that feel completely different. But as I've gotten older, like when I was younger, I wanted everything, right? Like you want all the options. I want to be able to get that. That's not fair if they don't give me this and this, and I want that if that's the best or whatever. There's some importance to your choices having consequences. And I really like it. And that's one thing that I think Valheim does really well. There's a 2-star Surtling over here. I think he just died to a leech, maybe? I really want to try and get a Surtling trophy. I'll take the cores, though, over the coal. We have a ton of coal back at the base, but Surtling trophies are really cool because it's just their flaming head, and you can like mount them on the wall, and they act as like natural infinite torches that you don't ever have to put more resources into. It's really, really nice. They're rare, and I wouldn't want more than like 1 or 2 if I was able to get them, because they're that rare. But I do want to make like a trophy room or a trophy building in the village that we're building or something like that, just to commemorate all of our hunts. I definitely want an extra of every boss trophy if we can, but I just imagine like maybe like this little building that has excuse you, sir, that like you walk in and just like on the walls there's like oh, not on the walls, but maybe in the hut itself, you know, we've got different armor stands with all of the different sets that we wore throughout the adventure, and then on the walls, lining the walls, there's a bunch of these different trophies of different creature heads that showcase the hunts that we had along the way. You know, like that's just cool in my mind, right? And like we said, we're gonna have this this entire area right here, this entire place is gonna be like a village, and then of course leading down here, we're gonna have a dock and stuff. So we've got the Viking Hall. Eventually, I'm gonna flesh out this blacksmith shop here. That's probably gonna be the next thing I build. We built a little training center in here for me to work on my melee skills, my dodging, my parrying, right, with Twig. Nice one, Twig. We've got our little apiary there. We've got like some cart storage here on the side. I've got a little farm down here that we're gonna work on and flesh out a little more. Still got a lot to do, so let's put some of this stuff up real quick. Mushrooms. We actually have quite a bit of cave mushrooms. Withered bones go up here. Cash. We've got almost 4 grand in cash. Kind of crazy. All right, let's repair all our tools. What do we have over here? Copper and tin. Still good on food. The boat should be full, or just about full, with one more set of iron, so. Yeah, I need like 46 more pieces of iron to fill up the boat, so. Let's go back in, we'll get that. I believe it was this crypt that we're working on. I might need to start marking each crypt and be like, you know, number marking them, just like a little 1 or like an asterisk there, so I know this is the one that we're at currently, because there's so many on this map. There's like 20 crypt entrances on this biome alone, which is kind of crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and I'm sure there's one that we're missing somewhere, so 20. Call it 20. Next day. Nope, this is the one that we already cleared out. We're on this one. That's the importance of annotating your map and then actually like adjusting your annotations. Like, oh, we've cleared this out. Go ahead and put a cross through it so we know it's done, right? Yeah, I really can't wait to find the merchant so we can get the weight belt. There's a belt that you can get that increases your carrying capacity, and that helps a lot. 2 more, maybe? 1 more? Yeah, so at most I can hold 21 right now. What about if I put the pickaxe in there? Okay, so with the pickaxe I can hold 22. We'll run this last set back. We'll come back, get another stack of 22, and that should be enough to fill up the boat. And then in my own time, I'm going to run back and forth, get all this iron into the chest out here, and then sail the boat back on my own. That way, you know, you guys don't have to see that. And then I'll sail it back. And like I said, between this, multiple. Between this episode and the next episode, I'm going to try and mine as much of these crypts as I can, get a ton of Oh, I thought that was a trophy, damn. We'll get a ton of iron, get all that back to the base, and then next episode, I'm gonna take some time and try and sail around a lot of these starting sister continents and see if we can find the shop. The shop that we're truly looking for, because we have a ton of money, and I want to spend some of that money. Honestly, I should do that, like, now, because with the belt, we could carry an extra... Iron is 10 a piece, so we could carry an extra 15 pieces with us every run. So, I think next time I play... Like I said, I'm going to get a lot of this iron back to the base myself, but next time I play, we're going to look for that merchant. We need to find that guy. It's really, really important. Alright, so we need 24 pieces. Ugh, that sucks. I'm only going to be able to carry, I think, 20 exactly back. Let's go ahead and pop bike here. We'll run this last little bit back, and then we'll get ready to wrap this one up. I probably won't sail this stuff back tonight. I'll probably do it tomorrow in between when I get off and then what I have to do at night. I usually get like this little 2 to 3 hour window in the afternoon where I can do some stuff. So maybe in that window I'll sail this boat back or something. But I've got some other stuff that I want to work on as far as recording goes tonight. And sailing this back is going to take 30 minutes. It'll probably take me an hour to sail it back and then bring the boat back here. So that's quite a bit of time. Now that I think about it, we're probably not going to get all of these crypts here because it was just going to take so much time to get a lot of that back. What I really need to get is the next boat. I can't remember exactly how we get it, but I think I'm a little far off. I think I need some things from the plains or something like that in order to get it, but let's try. Probably 12 is going to be too much. No? Okay. 2 more? Okay. 21 is what I can hold with all this stuff. Now that we know exactly what the rested buff does, I'm going to try and make it a conscious effort to keep that with us as best as we can. I just can't hold them. I need those though. I need to come back and get those for sure. 5 minutes really isn't long in Valheim. I wish the Forsaken buffs lasted like 10 minutes and they had a 20-minute cooldown. Eikthyr really does make you feel like a deer, though. You can just run for so long. Alright, this is pretty much full. We can hold 3 more pieces, so I'll get, you know, what we can. But I think we're going to call this one here for now, guys. Like I said, I'm going to work between this episode and next episode. I'm going to spend some time and try and get as much of this iron mined brought back to our base as I can. And the next time we record, I'm going to work on making another boat from our base right around here and then sailing to these sister continents, like over here, definitely over here. I have a feeling the merchant might be somewhere over here or here, and we're going to try and find that merchant. That's really, really important for us to do. So yeah, we're going to call this one here for now, guys. I want to thank you for hanging out. I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love, and God bless, gamers.